Human activity. Well, people are likely to do things that are a little bit idiotic, to be perfectly honest. And they build houses, they build roads in places where maybe houses and roads should not be built. So when people are involved in construction, roads or buildings, it can cause a slope to become steeper. And as we know, the steeper the slope, the greater the chance of mass movement. So digging into a steep slope can also cause it to become unstable. It loosens things, and that can cause mass movement. So that's why quite often you will see mass movement in areas where roads have been built in mountainous regions. If you want to see an example of this, if you go the very, very bad road over from Camola through Borland to Kilgarvan, that road often would have aspects of mass movement happening on it in winter, usually small landslides. Vegetation is essential for preventing mass movement and for slowing it down. So you know that if you pull a plant out of a pot or out of the ground, there's loads of roots, and on those roots will be lots of soil. Roots and plants work in two ways. So the first thing is that the roots bind soil together and stop it from moving, which is really, really important. And the second thing is plants absorb moisture. They drink water out of the ground. So by taking water out of the ground, you are helping to eliminate or to reduce one of the factors that influence mass movement, and you're helping to stop it. So if you had a very, very steep slope in a garden at home, it might be a good place to plant lots of shrubs or small trees, and it will help to stop any movement on that slope. So plants, vegetation, they help to keep slopes stable and prevent mass movement. Therefore, if somebody removes lots of trees or lots of plants in an area, you are increasing the chance of mass movement. This can be seen opposite Donegan Lake on the way from Bantry out towards Ballylickey, where there has been a lot of clearing done in some of the fields. They have beautiful fields there now, but the bank keeps collapsing down onto the footpath. It happened, I think, 3 times in the last year, because there's more moisture in the soil there, because the plants have been removed, and because the new plants don't have deep roots yet to try and hold the soil, bind the soil together. Animals, this isn't so much of a problem in Ireland anymore, but it was a massive problem in Ireland in the 80s and early 90s. So burrowing animals loosen soil and make it unstable. That's a small issue really. You're talking about rabbits, and it's going to be to do with soil creep when we're looking at that. We'll talk about our burrowing animals a little bit. But in the 80s and 90s, there was massive overgrazing, especially by sheep in mountainous areas. They removed the vegetation, so that meant that a lot of the things that were there, the shrubs, the grasses to hold soil together, to bind soil particles together, were removed, and their hooves would have loosened the soil as well. They cause a lot of mass movement incidents, but also they caused a lot of soil damage, and that was because of different policies by the EU at the time. Those policies have changed because overgrazing is now known to be very, very bad for the environment.